there, my name is Ashley and this is my podcast or vlog all about knitting and other fiber arts, sometimes some sewing, sometimes some spinning, but today's episode is going to be focused mostly on knitting. Also known as designbysewandsew on Instagram, Ravelry. You'll find all my information below in the description box along with my email if you want to contact me. So in today's episode, I have some finished objects. I am going to be announcing a pattern release, which I'm very excited about, and just one whip that I'll discuss. So let's get into it. So I have my pile of goodies over here, but I figured that we could start the episode with announcing my pattern release for the Scratch That, Reverse It mitts, their fingerless mitts and headband. They are finally done, ready, released into the world. I'm filming this a couple days ahead of time, but when this airs on Saturday, February 10th, the pattern is live on Ravelry and on Etsy too. So yeah, you can check it out on both those websites if you're interested in it. So without further ado, I will show you my pattern samples. Here's my pretty little pile of the Scratch That, Reverse It patterns. I'll put up a little photo here of the patterns. There's two pattern PDFs. One is for the headband and one is for the fingerless mitts, and they are sized for the whole family. So from toddler up to adult large. It goes up to adult large in the fingerless mitts because they're quite stretchy and generous. And then it goes up to adult extra large in the headband to accommodate larger head sizes and curly hair. So let's talk about the yarn that I used here for a moment. I'll just hold up the headband so that you can see the different colors. So Rachel from Zeezee Textiles was so kind in sending me these yarn samples that I could use up in the pattern. This is the colorway Nordley's. It's just like a happy, not quite emerald green, kind of in between like forest and emerald green. And then this one uses the colors Butterfly Bush, which is this pretty lilac, and then Puffer Coat is this kind of corally red. So this pattern uses worsted weight yarn. So this was Rachel's superwash worsted or superwash merino worsted yarn. But my test knitters actually used, some of them used fingering weight held double. Some of my test knitters even just went stash busting, and one colorway was fingering weight held double, another color was worsted weight. So they were able to kind of mix and match weights that way and use up their little bits from their stash, which is, I think, really convenient. And then another sample that I knit up, I wanted to see how it would work up with unspun yarn. So I used Nutiden from Owner Ock Air, and I held one strand of their unspun yarn with one strand of mohair, and it got similar gauge. So I was very pleased, with how versatile this pattern is with using different yarns, using up your little remnants in your stash. So it's really convenient for that. So like I said, the pattern comes in 6 sizes. I'll show you the range that I made here. So I made the adult size medium mitts. And in the pattern, I recommend to knit the body of the hand, if that's what you call it, the length of the hand, fairly long, just because that's a personal preference for myself. I like to have a bit more coverage there just for warmth. And even when it's cold or windy, I actually kind of roll up that cuff and tuck my fingers in just for some extra warmth. So that's a personal preference of my own, but the pattern does say that you can knit it to be shorter if that's your preference. So this is the adult medium, and then I couldn't resist knitting the child small. Look how adorable it is. Oh, I just love them together. They're so cute. So this is the child small. It's sized to fit like ages 2 to 3. And then there's child medium, child large, and then the adult sizes. But it's just so darling. So, so cute. And then the size range with the headbands. This is the adult small, and this is the child small medium. So I'll lay it up next to it and you can see, let's swap out those colors. So you can see the size difference. So that's the sizing difference of the adult small to the child small medium. So most of my patterns have just been for adult sizes. So it's been really fun to see my test knitters knit up the children's sizes, and they've taken photos on their kids, you know, while they're biking or riding on their scooters. And some of them have said that their children have requested different colors, and they're just so excited to put on their mitts and headbands and go outside and play. So that made me really happy to see that kids as well were excited about wearing these and using them and the different fun colors that they can be made in. So yeah, that's been really fun for me to see. So I'll tell you a little bit about the pattern design. Like I said, it's called the Scratch That Reverse It patterns because each of the patterns use 2x1 ribbing, but at some point in the pattern, the stitch pattern is actually reversed. So I'll show it to you on the headbands. So you can see you're doing your 2x1 ribbing, you're going up to the center there, and then you actually reverse it. So now that knit column is off center. It's now going up the center of the ribbed column. So that's the scratch it, reverse it part on the headband. I'll show it to you on the single color as well. So it's a little bit more subtle, but you can see it kind of just like offsets those ribbing columns. And then on the fingerless mitts, let me grab it here. On the fingerless mitts, the Scratch That Reverse It pattern is on the cuffs. So I'll put this on so that you can see it. So in order for this 2x1 ribbing to show up after the cuff is folded, you actually have to reverse the knitting pattern as you're finishing the hand. So you're doing 2x1 and then you reverse it to now knit 2 purl 1 so that that cuff, when it's folded over, matches this same ribbing here. So that's the reverse it on the gloves or the mitts, and I'll show it to you on the solid color as well. This one has a folded cuff at the wrist and then also at the fingertips, and it also has that reversed stitch pattern so that when it's folded up, it matches. I'll show it to you with both of these on. I know I've shown these in past podcasts, but I figured I'll show you one last time. So this is the fingerless mitts that are single color with the folded cuff option. And that's in the worsted weight yarn. These are the fingerless mitts in the Unspun with mohair with a folded cuff option as well. And then these are the mitts two colors, so color blocked option. Oops, I put that one on backwards. Let's see here. Here we go. So these are the fingerless mitts with the color blocked option and a straight cuff, so no fold down there. And you can see on the thumb gusset, you have those ribbed columns working out from this one ribbed column right there. So it's nice clean increases and they look really good on all the sizes. I'm quite pleased with how they worked out. And then, well, I'll just show you again the child's because it's so cute. So there's the child's, and this also has the straight cuff. And then I'll show you the headbands. So the headbands are double layered. So it makes a nice thick headband, like 2 layers for extra warmth. And it's nice and stretchy. I will try this on at the end of the podcast. I wasn't thinking about it when I braided my hair, but since my hair is short now, I feel like if I'm gonna be trying on hats and headbands and things like that, it's going to mess it all up. So I will try this on afterwards, and I'll put in a little blip of me wearing the 2 headbands in the color blocked version and the single color version. That is the Scratch That Reverse It patterns, and yeah, the information will be down below in the description box, but again, they are available for purchase on Ravelry and Etsy, and I'm going to include a special code for my YouTube viewers so that you can get a higher discount. On Instagram, I'll include a discount for my followers there, but here on YouTube, yeah, I wanted to give you guys something a little bit extra and special because you spend some more time with me. So I will write up the coupon code down below here so that you can get a discount on the patterns if you'd like to try them out. All right, that's enough about my pattern release. So let's move on to some finished objects. I don't have too much to talk about today, so hopefully this goes fairly quickly. But one of my finished objects is my pressed flowers hat that I made for the I Can Buy Myself Flowers knit along that Casey from Young Folk Knits and myself hosted. I knit this up using this navy blue yarn from Queensland collection. It's called Kathmandu. It is wool, silk, can't remember what else is in it. I'm not sure if it was wool, silk, and nylon. Yeah, I'll write it up here. And then the contrast color, my flowers, is Spincycle dyed in the wool, and this is the colorway First Light, which is their exclusive colorway for Black Mountain Yarn Shop. And it is just beautiful. I love it so much. So I did a little bit of color managing there just because I wanted to be able to see a bit of purple in the hat. So I broke my yarn here and then introduced purple to have a different color at the crown. And my modification for this was I just omitted one pattern repeat of the flowers. So the pattern actually calls for 4 flower repeats and then your decreases, and I started a bit up on the chart so that I just did 3 and then the pattern decreases because I didn't want a super slouchy hat. And again, I will film a little video of me wearing this at the end and put it in here for you to see. So this was my first time knitting something with Spincycle yarns, and it was really, really fun. It's beautiful yarn. I get the hype over it. The colors are gorgeous. They shift and change at a nice pace so that it's motivating while you're knitting. You know, you want to see the next color kind of like pop up so that you can work it too. And it's just got a really nice like bounce to it too. It's very nice yarn. The Queensland collection Kathmandu, it's not my favorite yarn. It was my first time using it. The silk kind of like intrigued me, and yeah, I thought that I would give it a try. I really love the color, but it's kind of a weird yarn. It's a little slubby and bumpy, I think because of the silk content, so it's not a smooth yarn. So I just knit using the ball that it came in when I bought it, and very often it would get knotted just, you know, pulling it off of the ball. And then quite often as I was knitting, there was actually breaks or tears in the yarn where it had been knotted up by the manufacturer. So I mean, this is a pretty small hat with not that much yardage, and I came across 3 breaks with little knots in the yarn, which I find a little irritating when you're knitting, because I'm not going to just knit across that knot and have it, you know, possibly show on the right side of my fabric or have it on the inside and irritating. So then I would have to undo that knot and then weave in those ends. So between that and then also the color managing that I was doing with the Spincycle, there was so many ends to weave in for this little hat. It was really pretty funny. So yeah, I don't think I would knit, well, I will use the rest of that ball obviously, but I won't purchase the Queensland collection Kathmandu again. It just wasn't really my cup of tea. But that being said, I've knit other yarns from Queensland collection like their Rainbow Beach, and I would purchase that again. So I think it's just the texture of the Kathmandu. Maybe it's that silk content that makes it easy to break and also easy to tangle. So those are just my findings on it. All right, my next FO is actually a sewing object. I haven't shown any sewing here. I don't sew too often, but every now and then I kind of get in the mood for it. So currently I'm actually in the middle of making a dress. I'll show that on another podcast, but my finished object is right here. Here it is. I made the Bestie Bag by Blackbird Fabrics, and this is I think they call it the mini, so it's the smallest size. I just used some canvas that I had in stash. I had this cute little tag that matched it really, really well. A metal zipper, and then I bought the strap and hardware from Blackbird Fabrics, because they had the correct size. So this is just cotton webbing and then a sliding buckle there for the strap. And I wasn't making this as a knitting project bag, but after I made it, I realized that it's a really convenient size to hold a small project like the Scratch That Reverse It Mitts or Headband, or a small sock. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. And yeah, I'm hoping to make more of these just because they are pretty cute and really practical. I don't love how they have them formatted, so you actually have to purchase 2 patterns in order to make the smallest size. which I just found a little frustrating. I guess they released the original size of the Bestie Bag. It's quite large, so there's like a large and medium. They released those together, and then a while later they released the mini. But when you purchase the mini pattern, it just comes with the pattern PDFs. It doesn't come with any of the instructions. So if you want to have the full pattern instructions, you also have to purchase the other Bestie Bag pattern. So yeah, I find like they could have just easily put them into one, but yeah, you kind of have to buy both of them. That being said, I will make all the sizes now that I know that I like it. Originally just the small one, the mini one, caught my eye and I thought I would only make that one, but now that I know that I like it, I will make the larger sizes as well. So that is it for finished objects, and I just have one whip at the moment. I've showed it to you before. It is the Primaveral cardigan. I'm test knitting this for Bella of 100 Acre Wool. The test knit is due at the end of the month, so I'm getting there. I've got the rest of this sleeve and then one more sleeve. And I'm knitting this with Nutiden yarn in the colorway Favor. So it's a really kind of like romantic style, like very dreamy, very pretty sweater. It's got this ribbing or yeah, it's like it's 1x1 ribbing, but then cabling in there too. And there's options in the pattern for a straight normal button band or this scalloped button band. And that's what caught my eye when I saw her working on this this pattern, and so I really wanted to try that. The button band is actually crocheted, which I am not a crocheter. I'm not very good at it. I've never spent much time learning it, so I wasn't sure if I would be able to do it, but I looked up a little video and I followed the pattern instructions. I spent a long time on this button band, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'll try it on for you. Here we go. Sorry for the clinking needles. And there's ends that have yet to be woven in, but there is the scalloped button band with blocking. I think it's going to grow a bit. It's kind of cinched up right now, but I don't mind the fitted look. I wanted it a little cropped for skirts. And then it has a nice kind of, I guess this is an inset sleeve, and there's a sleeve cap made with German short rows, so it fits really nice. And yeah, I think that scalloped edging is just what kind of like finishes this really nicely. And I have a few button ideas, either something shiny, sparkly, or I have, what are they called? The mother of pearl buttons, so that kind of gray looking mother of pearls. So yeah, I'm thinking something kind of like classy, because I will wear this more with dresses and skirts. It's not going to be like a throw on with my jeans or you know, a casual wear. This is going to be more of a dressy cardigan. So yeah, it's a beautiful pattern. It's taken me a while to knit up just because it is using that unspun yarn, which I have to tension differently and I have to just go a little bit more slowly. And then the ribbing and cabling too just kind of takes a little bit of time. But I've been enjoying it very, very much. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to having this as part of my wardrobe. I think that it'll be worn a lot because the color is so practical and the style will suit actually a lot of skirts that I own. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for sticking around. This is a bit of a short one, but I wanted to film this in time with my pattern release. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit the thumbs up little icon below and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. All right, happy knitting. Have a great day.